This video is my opinion. It is my opinion only.
By the way, I'll speak in code, because those who are interested in this will know, and those who are disinterested need not be bothered with it. But you may have noticed that there was a certain YouTube video that was taken down, which was created by this character. He took footage, if you will. He took video clips from Caravan to Midnight, mixed them up with his own, and presented it as if it were an actual interview between him and me. Well, it's a fraud. And so, just to send a message, this person's not going to be able to put anything else on his YouTube channel until he takes a copyright course. His channel didn't come down, but he has to take a copyright course so he'll know what he shouldn't be doing, which he did anyway, of course, but he's going to have to take the course before he can post any more. And you know, I don't like suing people, but we do have a legal team, and they're real good, and we almost never use them, almost never, but they're looking into this because in the same way that CNN and BuzzFeed and some of these other ones have pushed out news that is patently false and not news at all, but just what it is. It's a pack of lies. It's not spun, a fact that was spun. It's just a lie. Those people should be punished for that. When you inject a lie into an individual's head, another individual's head, that's bad enough. But when you inject lies into the general public, there should be some serious blowback for that. And so, in the same way, this person had better straighten up real quick or they're going to feel the sharp boot tip of the legal department here at Caravan to Midnight impact in a highly kinetic fashion on their backsides. It will not be pretty, and it was not necessary. But I've said this before earlier in the week. We didn't draw this battle line, they did. And in this particular case, I didn't draw the battle line, this person did. So, reap what you sow. Straighten up, fly right. Okay? And if you're gonna assert yourself, well then do it ethically and with some factual basis to support it. Otherwise, don't do it. Because if you do it to us, we're going to bite you, and you're going to stay bitten. And that's not a brag or a threat, it's just a fact.
So we meet again, Johnny boy. Did you really think you could put a fraudulent copyright strike against my channel and get away with it? Think again. Now, first thing I want to do is make it clear to everybody watching, this is not an interview. Johnny Boy the Coward is not here in any way, shape, or form. He's not going to join me on a Google Hangout. He is not going to join me on FaceTime. He's not going to be in a chat box. He's not going to be on the phone. He's not even going to be here in spirit. Okay? So let me make that perfectly clear, and I'm going to repeat it one more time. This is not an interview. Okay. Do you got that, everybody? Johnny Boy, especially you. Do you got that? It's not an interview. Okay. So now that I've made that perfectly clear, you can't go and lie to all your listeners and tell them that I cut up a bunch of clips and constructed it as if it was an interview. Get it? Because I just said it wasn't. Because that's what you did. You lied to all your listeners. You told them I misrepresented what you said, cut up a bunch of clips from various shows and interviews you've done, and I constructed it as if it was an interview. Seems kind of strange that I would challenge you to a debate at the end of both those videos I did. I challenge you to meet me either on the internet or in person and we do a live debate. I challenge you to that in my videos, and you claim that I'm misrepresenting you in an interview? If you were there with me in an interview, I wouldn't need to challenge you to a future debate, now would I? So, I want all of your listeners who might happen to be watching this video, I want them all to know that you lied to them, Johnny, and I'm going to prove to all of them that you lied to them. Now, the video in question is a video called Flat Earth Asshole, that's me, Flat Earth Asshole versus John B. Wells, Round 2. This was the video he claims I cut up clips from various shows and interviews he's done and constructed it as if it was an interview, and he's going to have his legal team look into it. As you heard him say, this is entirely false. John B. Wells does a good enough job about talking smack about flat Earth all on his own. I don't need to misrepresent him. He's talking smack about something very near and dear to me, and he's talking smack about an entire group of people in which I belong to. So it's only natural for me and many of us to get offended and fire back. Now, John went on for a year on his radio show talking about the flat Earth. I didn't even know who he was. And then I started having people send me clips saying, hey, this guy's talking smack, why don't you address this guy? Now, that's something I happen to do on my channel, is address people who talk smack about the flat Earth. Johnny didn't know that, but hey, if you're going to talk smack about an entire group of people, whether you agree with them or not, you have to expect them to fire back and say something back at you, right? If I was to say, all Mormons are devil worshippers, don't you think that some Mormons might get pissed off and come after me at that point? Whether my fan base likes Mormons or not, doesn't matter. They're going to come after me. They're going to be pissed off. They're going to want to call me names. They're going to want to call me out. They're going to email me. They're going to find my phone number and call me. Trust me, they're going to let me know that I pissed them off because I said something about an entire group of people, which is what you did, Johnny, for a year. So I addressed you, and I addressed some of your pitiful arguments, which I debunked very easily. And then after the first video, you made a response to me on your show and brought me up on your show. You elicited a response from me by bringing me up on your show, and you said on your show you were personally going to destroy the flat Earth paradigm. You personally were going to destroy the whole thing. And that I was first on the list and you were going to crucify me. And then you brought up some arguments, and then you quit talking about the flat Earth. Now, that section where you talked about me and about the flat Earth is all I used in that second video. In fact, I can tell everybody where to go find it. In fact, here it is right here. So here it is, folks, 100% proof that I did not chop up various clips and misrepresent Johnny Boy the Coward in any way, shape, or form. Now, to verify this, what you're going to want to do is go to John B. Wells' YouTube page and look up the title Arc Midnight Number 30, the 51st State of Jefferson within the Union of the USA, Part 2. In fact, if you are to go to the video and press play, and then you want to go to the 20-minute mark. At the 20-minute mark exactly, as if he's got it written on a note next to him to remind him to bring it up. At the 20-minute mark exactly of this video, he starts talking about the flat Earth. He quits talking about the flat earth at 27 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, I used that clip from 20 minutes even to 27 minutes and 20 seconds. That is 7 minutes and 20 seconds that I used out of his entire hour and a half long show. Now, that 7 minutes and 20 seconds from start to finish is unedited, unmanipulated. In any way, shape, or form, I did not change or misconstrue anything within that 7 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm using what Johnny said verbatim. Those were the words he chose to use in that order. That is everything he wanted to say and meant to say. And that is what I used. And anyone who doubts me at all, I want you to go to Johnny's video and watch at the 20-minute mark until the 27-minute mark and 20 seconds. Then go to my video, Flat Earth Asshole versus John B. Wells Round 2, and compare what he said in my video versus what he said in his own video. It's the exact same thing. It's 7 minutes and 20 seconds of Johnny Boy running his mouth about me personally and about the flat earth. So get this, folks. He elicits a response from me by bringing me up on his radio show. He says he will personally destroy the flat earth and he will make me first on his list and he will crucify me. Then when I respond to him, he turns around and fraudulently flags my video. He basically snitched to the YouTube police fraudulently and had my video taken down. Now, does this sound like a man who's confident in his information and material that he has to flag my video and have it removed fraudulently rather than actually make a response to me? I mean, he called me out on his show. He said he was personally going to crucify me. So let me guess, Johnny Boy, by crucify, you mean snitch fraudulently. Wow. Yeah, that's real tough, Johnny Boy. Really manly to go picking on a group of people, and then when they fire back at you, to then get all butthurt and turn it around and act like it's the group of people attacking you. Poor Johnny Boy's getting attacked by the flat earth asshole. You even went on to lie to your fan base and tell them you didn't start this, you didn't draw these battle lines. You talked about the flat earth for a year, John. A year. I didn't even know who you were. I addressed you in my first video, and then you brought me up on your show. So I just used the clip where you brought me up on your show and talked about me and the flat earth. So for you to say I misrepresented you and constructed it as an interview is absolutely ridiculous, and you know damn well that it's ridiculous. It's a lie. And that's why I beat your strike. And so next thing I'm going to do is tell everybody all the language I used to beat your fraudulent copyright strike. Because your strike is no longer on my channel. It's been expunged. I have 0 copyright strikes, buddy. You know why? Oh yeah, you do know why. Because you got my response. So at this point, I'm going to explain in full detail exactly how I beat Johnny Boy's fraudulent strike against my channel. Now, I was fairly certain I could beat him under the Fair Use Act. And the Fair Use Act says, in its most general sense, a fair use is any copying of a copyrighted material done for a limited and transformative purpose, such as to comment upon, criticize, or parody a copyrighted work. Such uses can be done without permission from the copyright owner. Now, in my opinion, that's exactly what my video was a fair use of Johnny Boy the Coward's work, and I added my own commentary, and I transformed it, and I added my own video clips to it. So, under my own estimation, I was using the Fair Use Act and I was not guilty of stealing his work. So what I ended up doing was reaching out to a man who I know has beaten many copyright strikes. You might know him as Mike Jack, aka ODD Reality or ODD TV. I messaged him and asked him how he beats strikes, and he told me he's beaten several strikes. I think he told me more than 30 strikes, and he says he uses this as his defense. This video is fair use under U.S. copyright law because it is non-commercial and transformative in nature, uses no more of the original than necessary, and has no negative effect on the market for the original work. Point blank, if you talk, have your own commentary, the video is yours, and you have the rights to it. Alright, so that's my ODD impression. Forgive me if you don't like it. Sorry, Mike Jack, I had to read it in your voice. It wouldn't have sounded right if I read what you said in my own voice. Alright. Anyway, so I use that now in my title screens. As a lot of you have probably noticed, I use what he said as well as some other information relative to the Fair Use Act in my title screen now, so that hopefully I can get around these loopholes of people trying to fraudulently take down my video, because I'm going to use what's on my title screen as my defense. And if you look at it, everything that I did with that clip is outlined under fair use. I used 7 minutes of Johnny Boy's material, and it was for criticism. I criticized him. Comment? Oh yeah, I made comments. News reporting? Yeah. I was reporting to my fan base and anyone who watches me, and what they consider news is up to them. Teaching? Sure. For sure. Scientific research? Hell yeah. Parody? Not so much. Other people might consider it parody, but I don't think so. I think it's outlined by all the rest of them completely. So if anybody wonders what fair use is, there's your guidelines, and there's the exact information that I sent over to Johnny Boy. Now, when you send out a counter notification, you get back a message from YouTube that says something like this: Dear Flat Earth Asshole, thank you for your counter notification. It has been forwarded to the party that sent the takedown notification. Keep in mind that by submitting this counter notification, you've initiated a formal legal dispute process. As such, YouTube will handle this process in accordance with the law. This process takes some time. We kindly ask for your patience. Upon forwarding your counter notification to the claimant, we will allow them 10 to 14 business days from this date to respond with evidence that they have taken court action against you to prevent the reinstatement of the video in question. Now, when you hear something like that, it's like a little intimidating, like a formal legal dispute. I mean, what if he actually takes me to court? Like, I actually had to think about that, and then I thought, nah, no way would he drag me into court. I would just turn it into a big old media circus. So basically, Johnny was given 2 weeks, or until February 2nd, to respond to my claim. Well, February 2nd came and went, and then I got this message. Dear Flat Earth Asshole, that's me! In accordance with the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, we've completed processing your counter notification. The following videos have been restored. And at that point, my copyright strike was expunged. It was gone from my record. I had won. I had beaten Johnny Boy's strike. And my video was back up on my channel again. So then I set the other one back to public because I had won. And both my videos were back up on my channel where they belong and where they shall remain. I had won, y'all. I had beaten Johnny Boy in the legal process after he said he was going to send his legal team after me and have his boot tip connect highly kinetically upon my backside, and all that deep, slow-talking nonsense he likes to do. Well, guess what, Johnny boy? You lost. My videos are still standing. I made you look like a fool in the first video. I made you look like an even bigger fool in the second video, which is why you had it taken down. And then I beat your fraudulent strike, and I had my video reinstated. Now in video 3, I've explained to the whole world, and hopefully some of your listeners, exactly how I beat your fraudulent strike, and exactly how big of a liar you are. That's right, you lied to all of them, and you know it. And I proved it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And if you think the 2 weeks while that video was down, you saved thousands of people from seeing it, think again, buddy. Because I don't know if you remember, I kind of instructed my fan base to, if they felt like it, go to my Facebook page where they could find that video and re-upload it to their own YouTube channel, which many of them did. So if you want to look for the name Flat Earth Asshole versus Johnny Boy the Coward Round 2, Johnny Boy the Coward Part 2, there's many different names. It's on many different channels. I'd say there's somewhere between 40 or 50 different channels that are carrying a Round 2 of my video, a mirror of my video. And that's all because Johnny took it down. So I made my video into a bunch of splinters while I was away. Oh, and also while I was away, my homie Jaren popped you in the mouth as well. Did you know that, Johnny? Yeah, my homie Jaren did a video against you. Yeah, he knocked you down pretty good too, buddy. Did you go after him? Did you send a copyright strike after Jaren? No, I bet you didn't. Because even if you did, he knows how to beat it too. And now everyone knows how to beat a copyright strike. A fraudulent one, that is. If I was to have taken Johnny Boy's clip and stuck it on my channel without transforming it at all, well, that would be a copyright strike. He actually would have a point. But I transformed it. I changed it. I made it my own, added my own commentary. It's my video. Just like this video right here. So what are you gonna do now, Johnny Boy? You gonna flag this video? You'll lose again. You gonna sue me? Under what circumstance? Slander? Everything I've said about you is true. You'll have a hell of a time proving anything to a judge that I did to ruin your career or damage you financially. You've brought it all upon yourself. And in fact, I think you bring up the flat earth on your radio show to bolster your ratings and bring attention to yourself. Well, in that process, you're going to bring negative attention to yourself. And you know that. I just want to point out to everyone how highly hypocritical it is that a man can talk about an entire group of people weekly on his radio show.
Right now. Nut up, man, and show us that you've got the cojones to talk about the flat earth. You idiot. Who do you think you're talking to? I have more intelligence in my left pinky fingernail than you have in your whole damn body, squared or even cubed.
Do you make me cry? Can you tell me, can you apologize, please?
I'm coming for you, flat earthers. I'm going to destroy your ridiculous little paradigm.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide.
I'm coming for you, flat earthers. I'm coming for you. I'm going to destroy your ridiculous little paradigm.
So let me get this straight. You're allowed to say whatever you want on your radio show about whoever you want for as long as you want. But if any one of those people ever says anything about John Wells, well, I'm going to sue you. I'll send my legal team after you. Where? I'm going to flag your video. Where? What a wussy you are. I'm really controlling myself. I'm being a gentleman. I would like to call you a lot more worse names, but I'm being a gentleman. I'm going to call you Johnny Boy the Coward. I'll call you a wussy. I'll call you a snitch. I'll call you a tattletale. I'll call you a lot of things. And you won't be able to say it's slander because everything I've said about you is true. You are a coward. You are a tattletale. A fictitious tattletale. Johnny Boy is the equivalent of somebody who challenges you to a fight and says, "Hey, you want to fight? Hey, what's up? You want to fight? Meet me at the football field at midnight." And then when you go to the football field at midnight, he's got the cops waiting for you. And he's like, "Officers, arrest that man. He wants to fight me." Johnny Boy's the type of guy that will take a swing on you, and then when you duck his shot and pop him in the face and knock him the F out, he'll get up off the floor, get on his cell phone, and call the police and tell them that he's just been assaulted after he threw the first punch. He'll then go on to tell everybody that he was assaulted by a monster who came in and hit him from behind. That's Johnny Boy. The equivalent of Johnny Boy is someone who makes up a story for the world rather than the truth. Because the truth crushed you. The truth crushed you in my first video. The truth crushed you in my second video. So then you had to lie to everybody and hope that they bought it. Well, I just proved to everybody that you lied. So now what are you going to do? What are you going to do now, Johnny? Your options? Take it like a man? Snitch on me again? Or debate me? What's it going to be? Chances are, you're going to take the snitch way out. And when you do, I'll beat it again. And if you take that route, round 4 will come. Beating a dead horse at this point, Johnny. This is what happens when a globe earther and a flat earther do battle. The flat earth always wins because the flat earth is truth.